Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, how are you? Now, you're great. I like that, man. Now, before I start, I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking your precious time and your skills and all of the things that you put into actually being here for these 4 days. I speak all over the world, and it's very rare that I get an opportunity to perform, to speak in front of an audience who is hungry. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My man right here was going, It's rare that I get a chance to speak to an audience that truly wants to transform their lives. And I want to say to you right now, I am honored to be here with you. Thank you very much. Now, first things first. Now, I was here yesterday for like 5-6 hours just trying to soak up the mood, and I listened to Jamie and my crew over there. There was a team over there that I think it was what do you call it, the what? Freedom Fighters. The Freedom Fighters. I was hanging with them, and I want you guys to give my team some love. Come on, give them some love over there. Now, and while I was sitting there with them, I was thinking to myself, wow, you know what? I feel like they're not throwing enough out there. Like they're holding back for some reason. Because I noticed some of these other teams, you guys were gung-ho. You guys were in it, up and down, fired up. And I was thinking, maybe this team is maybe lacking vision to see what this 4 days is all about. Maybe you don't quite understand that in order to get something, you have to give something. You know what I'm talking about? And then I realized that today you guys were doing a vision poster, and you guys were going to do some artwork and some great stuff. And I thought, wow, I've done that before. Yeah, seriously. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? You're going to shock them, because before The Secret became worldwide, international, before vision boards were in vogue, I had already done it. I was 9 years old. 9. I'm old now, but I was 9. At 9 years of age, I was sitting in my class in South Central Los Angeles, and I was sitting in the back of the classroom. And I was sitting in the back of the classroom because my teachers told me every day, Eric, you're stupid. Eric, you're dumb. Eric, you're never, ever, ever going to finish school. Don't raise your hand, son. Please go and sit in the back of the classroom. And of course, at 9 years of age, I moved to the back of the classroom. And I sat in my seat. And every day that teacher was teaching and kids were laughing, and me? No. Because I have no vision. I have no self-esteem. I don't know where I'm going. So I didn't say anything. And maybe that team over there didn't really put their hands up. Or maybe that team over there didn't jump out of their skin because maybe they just weren't sure what it was all about. But at 9 years of age, I sat in my seat day after day after day after day thinking to myself, maybe one day I will be able to put my hands up with pride and be able to say, yes, I got a future. But until I could believe that, why should anyone else? So I sat there, and then one day my teacher, just like Jamie McIntyre, just like 21st Century, gave me an opportunity to think about my future. So my teacher said, okay, this is what I want all you guys to do. I want you to take out those papers, and I want you to take those pens, take those crayons, and I want you to color. I want you to draw. I want you to make something that implicates where you want to be in your life. And I looked around me, and people on the right were just going to work. People on the left was going to work. People were laughing, they were joking. And I was sitting in my seat going, whoa, I'm going nowhere. And then finally I thought, okay, if this is what the teacher wants, I'll do it. And for all of you sitting in this room right now, great exercise is every year, start of the year, sit down by yourself, away from the noise, and think about where you want to go. Draw it, pictures, vision boards, put it up every day, talk to someone else about it. And then I went to work. I was an artist. Oh, yeah, I was good. Oh, I was nice. I was like, oh, yeah, you're good. And then all of a sudden, I was like, yes, complete. What do I do now? I sat in my seat and I said, okay. And then the teacher got up and says, okay, this is what we want you to do. We want you to share what you've just put together, and we want you to share it with your class. And the first thing I thought was, oh, no, people are going to laugh at me. Anybody in this room ever been laughed at? Anybody in this room ever been criticized? Anybody in this room ever felt like, you know what, if I try to do that, I'm just going to get kicked to the curb? Put your hands up. Anybody in this room ever felt like your ideas don't matter? Put your hands up. Anybody in this room, surround yourself with people who are always trying to pull you down, not letting you go to where you want to be. Well, that's where I was at 9. But now I realize, okay, there are other people out there who don't think like me. There are people out there who, you know what they're doing? They are crafting their vision. There are people out there who are reaching for the stars. There are people out there who don't care about what other people think. There are people out there who do more than me. So why should I expect to excel in my life? Well, I can't. Today, as you sit in this room, you're going to have knowledge, 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 and knowledge. You're going to have tools, 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 and tools. But before you can action those, you better have some vision. Vision, write this down. Vision without action is a dream. Vision without action is a dream. Vision without a plan is a dream. Vision without feelings. I want you to look, everybody look at me when I say this next point. Please look at me. Vision without feelings. Without feelings is a dream. My teacher called on quite a few people to get up and share what they wrote. And I started to get smaller and smaller and smaller in my seat because I realized I wasn't on the same level. And then finally my teacher said, okay, there's some people in this room who don't have their hands up. And what I want to do is I want to call on those people because you're important. And the first person that this teacher looked at was me. I was like, oh no, not me. I can't show you this. And my teacher said, Eric, come here. I was like, no, please no, not me. And of course, people around me start pushing me. Anybody here been pushed when you weren't ready? How does it feel? Don't feel good, huh? You feel hesitant. You feel like, oh no, I gotta say, no, but they pushed me. And I got to the front of the room, and here I was standing there, and I had my paper, and as I had my paper, I was thinking to myself, oh, I don't want to show it. I just can't show it. No, this is not going to be pretty. And then all of a sudden, here I says, okay, my teacher, Eric, show me your picture. I said, whammo! Look at the screens. Look at the screens now, and I want you to check out the screens. At 9 years of age, at age 9, this is what I saw. Notice when I'm going to die. Notice my grave. I'm not living too long. I'm going to jail. I'm going to sell drugs. I'm going to be unemployed. I'm going to live in poverty. You know why this was my dream? Because it was my reality, and my reality was I didn't have any vision. Everyone around me was negative, so I thought negative. This was how I lived my life. One of the main reasons why I'm showing you this is because however you live, however you believe, is what you become. You want to be financially secure? You want to have a great relationship? You want to do things for your community? You want to blossom in life? You need to make sure that everything around you is positive. And when I showed my picture, you know what everybody did? They laughed. And my teacher looked at me and said, "Oh, Eric, okay. That sounds okay." So my teacher said, "Go back to your seat." And I took my picture back to my seat, and on my way back to my seat, I was saying to myself, wow, okay, well, this is all that I can expect in life. Before I could get to my seat, a girl in my class, a total stranger, and boy, was she pretty. She stopped me and she said, "Give me that paper." She took it out of my hand, and I went back to my seat. A few more people got up on stage, and at lunchtime, I was outside, and this girl, she walked over to me, she grabbed me by my hand, and she said, "I see something different." She had some crayons, and she had a piece of paper, and she said, "Sit down." And right there on the playground, she put a crazy idea into my head. And the idea was I could be more than what I was seeing. So she helped me develop something different. And I've got that too. And I want to show you what she helped me write. And that's what it was. Look at the screen. She said to me, "You can be an athlete. You can play professional basketball. You can go to college. You can graduate from high school. You can have a career. But you have to see it before it can happen." Who knew that at 9 years of age, that one day, this black kid from South Central Los Angeles would play professional basketball? Who knew that one day I would play against Irvin Magic Johnson, the greatest basketball player ever? Who knew that one day I would go to university? Who knew that one day I would get on a plane and fly thousands of miles away and end up on the shores of the greatest country on the planet? You're supposed to clap. Hey. I'm not talking about Australia. I'm talking about Hobart, Tasmania. Because that's where I went. Who knew that one day that I would finish my career with 16 years of professional basketball under my belt? Who knew that one day that I would speak in over 11 different countries and work with multinational companies and mentor people and speak to over 1.5? Who knew that at 9 years of age I would have offices in 4 different countries? I didn't know. But this young lady allowed me to dream. And what she also did was she also allowed me to have a plan, to take action, and to feel it. How many of you guys feel your vision? Hands down. How many people are struggling to feel your vision? We're going to change that right now. We're going to change that right now. Everybody, put your pens, put your papers down, and I want everybody on your feet. I want everybody to get up on your feet right now. We got to raise the energy level up in this house right now. We're going to get those endorphins and serotonin working in the brain. We're going to go for it. Are you ready? Yes. I said, are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. DJ, hit my music, please. What? Are you kidding me? What? No! Stop it. Cut it off. Cut it off, DJ. Seriously, That's not the kind of music that I want to hear. I want to hear some music that's going to make us get up out of their feet. DJ, give me my beat now. Yeah. Put your hands together. Let's go. Come on. Stomp your feet. Let's go. Jump. Let's go. Jump, 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 jump. Hands in the air. On the count of 3, I want you to scream. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn to the person next and give him a high five. Now the person on the other side, give him a high five. Give him a hug. Go ahead, give him a hug. Give him a hug. Give someone else a hug. Okay, now, while the music is still going, I want to make sure that we've got the right side and the left side of our brain going. I want you right now, I want you to visualize your very first race in your life. Whatever it was, your first race. It could have been athletics, it could have been swimming, it could have been a homework assignment. Whatever that very first race of yours was, turn to the person, take 1 minute, and I want you to tell them what your first race was and what the end result was. Go ahead, tell them now. Okay, while you're still standing, what I want to do now is I want to get a couple of volunteers. Put your hands up if you'd like to share with the entire room what your first race was. Okay, here's one over here. You can stay right there, sir. Can we get a microphone over here? Here you go. Tell us what your first race was. Thank you.
I'm a professional flair bartender. Bartenders who throw bottles around.
Right, yep.
First competition was the Australian Championships, and I won that.
Okay, cool. And how did you feel?
Top of the world, been the Australian champion for 4 years, Australasian champion for 3 years, top 10 bartenders in the world.
Okay, man, okay, you said enough, okay. All right, cool, he's cool, all right. Okay, appreciate that.
Feel good.
Okay, good, that's good, give him a hand. Anybody else? Oh, hey. My team, my Fighting Temptations, I know they got somebody. I know in the yellow, my yellow crew, they got somebody's gonna talk. Right here, you better, or I'm gonna take away some points. Let's go, I'm gonna take away some points from that team over there, let's go. Okay, here we go, the captain of the team. All right, here we go.
Okay, my first competition was a karate competition in Victoria, and I came third because the other guy kicked me in the balls and got spot.
All right, that's creative. Anybody else? Up here in the front, thank you, up in the front.
Hi, Team 1, I'm on. My name's Joy. There you go, Team 1. I was in Africa for 18 months as a teenager, and one of the things that we did in the afternoon was swim in the pool. And one of the challenges was to swim a mile. That's where I learnt to swim because I was determined to finish, and I finished, and I've still got the certificate at home. It took about 3 times as long as anyone else.
All right, good. One more. Anybody else? One more. Over here on the side, on the side.
I remember my first race, and it was unplanned. And I was a very small child, like 5 or 6 years old. And with the bicycle tire, hitting with a stick. And I was just on the road, and there was a motorbike passing through. And I raced with that motorbike. And I don't know, he allowed me or I won, but I won that race.
All right, cool. Thank you. Okay, you can be seated now. Now, let's go back to the start. Now, I asked you to tell me and tell everybody else in the room about your very first race, your very, very first race. Now, what you have told me has been amazing. I mean, it's just exhilarating. I feel good, and I'm sure you feel good. But you know what happens as we get older? We forget a lot, don't we? Now, stand up, please, stand up. Now, how you doing? Are you okay? Now, when I said we get older, I wasn't looking at you because of, no. I was looking at you because you had that eyes of knowledge and wealth of experience, and you can feel where I'm going with this, right? All right, let's give her a hand. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, I won't hold that against you. So, here's the deal. First race. Some of you have talked about your first race. I'm going to talk to you about my first race. Now, yesterday, some of the points that Jamie was talking about was that you have to be flexible. You have to think creatively. You can't do the same things each and every day and get a different result. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to my first race. My very first race was 1960. Oh yeah, I'm old. 1960, and my race started when my parents decided that they wanted to have me. Yeah. Now, I think you see where I'm going with this, right? Yes, that's when your race started. Yes, your parents had sex. I know, don't think about it, don't visualize that. But the point I'm trying to make was that's when you were off. And while you were visualizing the end result, which happened to be life, let me know you were not alone, because 300 million other little tatties was with you. Oh yeah, they were with you. And some of them was like kicking you. They were holding you. They were scratching you. You know why? Because they wanted what you wanted, and that was the ultimate goal, to have life. You with me on this so far? Now, while you were on that journey, guess what? You did not know about a word called can't. You didn't know a word called shouldn't. You didn't know a word called try again next week. Only thing you knew was success. What's it look like? So, obviously, I made it. I made it. Yeah, we all made it. We all made it. Now, when I made it, I was like, wow, here I am. Okay, now let's get this thing off. Now, I'm on the podium. I want my gold medal, because when you win, you gold medal, right? You want a ribbon. You want to be acknowledged for winning, right? And all of a sudden, my father, he was going to be the person giving me the gold ribbon. He looked down at me and he said, oh, my son. He says, I'm so proud that you're here. Oh, man, you're going to be a basketball player. You're going to be a football player. You're going to be a baseball player. You're going to be heavyweight champion of the world. And my mother, she had a different idea. She was like, oh, son, you're pretty. I wanted a girl, but I'll settle for a boy. She said, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be an engineer. She says, oh, heaven forbid, you're going to be president of the United States. Hey, you know that's possible now, you know, right? There's a brother in the White House. That's what I'm talking about. So, here I am, vision of my parents. But my vision right now is one thing. Give me some milk. I'm hungry. I need my nourishment. I want to be fed. So my mother took care of that, and then it was time. It was time for me to get ready. And then my father picked me up. He looked at me, and he says, oh, I'm so proud. And all of a sudden, my father's face went totally strange. My father looked at me with disdain. My father looked at me with embarrassment. My father looked at me with shock, horror. He put me down. My mother said, what's wrong? And then my father said, hey, this boy is deformed. My mother said, what do you mean? My father said, look at his legs. Look at his knees. Look at his eyes. There's something wrong with this child. They brought in a doctor. They brought in a nurse. They brought in a specialist. Before you know it, I had a team. I had a team of advisors. I had a team of people looking at me, punching and probing, and looking at me saying, okay, what are we going to do? Finally, the end result, the diagnosis was this boy is deformed. He will never run. He will never play sport. I'm sorry. All those dreams, all those goals, that vision you had for that child, it's never going to happen. My parents' vision for my future now was, it ain't going to happen for you. But that's okay. You know why? Because they're my parents. Because parents do a couple of things. One is they stand by in a time of need and crisis. Your parents are the ones that prop you up when you're falling down. Your parents are the ones that give you that unconditional love. Your parents are the ones that help you to be better than who you think you are. We have any parents in the room here? I want to challenge you. As I speak about my life and my challenges, I want to challenge you to reflect on the type of things that you're doing as a parent. You have your own goals and you have your vision. What about your children's visions? My parents looked at me and said, son, no worries, no problem. We will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow when we come back, we're going to have a solution. My parents want to go home and rethink how they wanted to craft my life, how they were going to assist me, how they were going to help me be all that I can. Last Thursday before, November 26th, was my birthday. Thank you very much. It was my birthday, and let me tell you how I celebrated my birthday. My wife and my daughter, they organized a fishing trip for me, because I love fishing. They made me breakfast in bed. They spoiled me, and they got me some gifts. But the one thing I wanted to do, which I do every November 26th, is I dress up really nice. I comb and brush my hair. Don't you laugh at my hair, man. You keep living and you'll be bald too. And then I got dressed, and then I waited downstairs in my home in Brisbane, and I waited for the knock on the door. I waited for the phone to ring. Because 49 years later, I am still waiting for my parents to come back and say, son, we're here. I'm waiting for my parents to say, son, our vision for you then, we couldn't craft a good one, but we're back now. I'm waiting for my parents to walk into my life and say, hey, you know what, son? We're so proud of what you've become. That was my first race. But at age 49, I've got my own vision now. I've got my own goals and dreams and aspirations, and I have a plan, and I'm actioning it, and I'm trying to get it done. The reason why I'm telling you this is because, well, maybe I shouldn't assume. Anybody in this room ever felt abandoned before? Hands up if you felt abandoned in any way. Hands up if you have felt isolated before in any way. Hands up if you have been left out of something that you really wanted to be involved in any way. You know, I'm here today because I'm giving you everything that I got. You know why? Because tomorrow isn't promised. I'm here right now with you guys is because I want you to achieve your goals and your dreams. I want you to be the best that you can be. And in order for that to happen, you have to take ownership. You have to be accountable. There are a couple points that I want you to consider. We got this going? Okay, write this down, please. Vision. What you see is what you get. If you see negativity, if you don't have positive things in your life, then whatever you surround yourself with, that's what you become. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. And that's why I've said now that vision without a plan is just a dream. Next point. Adapt to life's challenges. We all are going to have obstacles. We all are going to have ups and downs. And it is not being a failure if you don't get the right result on the first time. You have to stay in there. You have to stay connected. You have to hang in there to the very end. You can't control outcomes, so accept them as means to broaden your opportunities. Next one, move in the right direction. Move forward. I know Jamie talked about this yesterday. I just want to highlight it. How many people here have a car? Of course, you have a car. You're on the highway and you're driving. Where does most of your focus go? Out the front of the car, not the rear view mirror, because it's only small. It's this big. It's not meant for you to have all your attention on that. Your attention is forward. Avoid professional distractors, people who will claw and pull you down. Last point. Program to a greater power than you. We all were born and designed to win. Out in that world right now, there's amazing things for all of us to get to. But if we aspire to do it together, if we help one another, if you surround yourself with the right people, have a business mentor, have a coach, have someone who will not judge you but support you, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to get to where you want to go. When we talk about mentors, when we talk about people who can help us to be more than what we are, I couldn't go past my coach. 14 years of age. At age 14, because of the disease in my knees, I was already 6'5" at age 14. At 14 years of age, I had never, ever dribbled a basketball, shot a basketball, because I just can't run. I got bad knees. I'm sitting on the sidelines one day, and here comes the basketball coach. And he walks up to me and he says, "Eric, I've been seeing you walk around school." He says, "You know what? You are big." He says, "You are huge." He says, "You are humongous." Now, why would this guy say that to me? Because he was little. He was this tall. So, of course, I had to be tall to him. And he says, "You know what?" He says, "I bet you could be a good basketball player." Now, what do you think I said to him? I said no. I gave him every excuse in the book. I can't run. I got bad knees. I'm no good. And you know what that coach said to me? He says, "Eric, I don't want to hear no more excuses." He said, "This is what I want you to do." He says, "Today at 5:30, he says, we have a game, and I need one person to help the team." He said, "Here are your instructions." He said, "You're going to come down to this court today." And he grabbed me by my arm. He said, "You're going to stand on this court right now. And during this game, this is what I want you to do." Can I borrow you, sir, please? What's your name? Jacob. Pardon me? Jacob. Jacob, come here, Jacob. Okay. Jacob, I was a little bit taller than you, so it's okay. My coach said, "Eric, stand on the line. Stand on that line right there." He said, "I want you to give yourself a wide base so no one can knock you off it, so you can stay grounded. Here are some points that I'm giving you right now. You might want to write these down. Number one, stand on the line. Stand on the line and give yourself a wide base. Your base is this. Your base is your support staff. Your base is your ability to learn. Your base is your ability to look around you and find the right opportunities. Your base is your belief in yourself. Your base is your character. Your base is your integrity. Your base is your ability to see where you're going. Your ability is your vision." And my coach said, "Eric, you stand on this line and you put your hands up in the air like this, because what's going to happen? The ball is going to go up and it's going to hit the backboard. And with your hands up and your wide base, you will catch the ball, because that is the goal. Catch the ball. Opportunity. Ball equals opportunity. Write this down. Ball equals opportunity. Now, I want to make sure you guys are all with me on this. I want you to understand the significance of hands up, wide base, and focus. I want everybody to stand up right now. Everybody stand up. I want you to give me a wide base, and I want you to put your hands in the air. Put them up in the air. Okay, shot's going to go up, and when you catch the ball, I want you to say, yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Good. Stay standing. Now, what happened was, ball went up, caught it. Now, what happens next? The coach didn't tell me the next part of the equation. Keep those hands up. Come on, we're doing exercise this morning. The coach didn't tell me that the other team wanted the ball. No, they really wanted the ball. So you know what the opposition did? They punched me. They kicked me. They scratched me. They bit me. I said to my coach, what do I do? And my coach said, just jump. But what did I do? Gave the ball to the other team. They went down and scored. My coach called a timeout. He grabbed me and said, Eric, I want to tell you one thing, and one thing only. Today is your opportunity. 4 days. 3 days left. You got opportunity. Opportunity is written all over this building. Opportunity is written in those notes. Opportunity is written with every speaker. Opportunity is written with every book, every product. Opportunity is written in Australia. Opportunity is written right here for you. Do not give the ball to someone else. Those people out there had an opportunity to be here. Those people out there had an opportunity to learn, but guess what? They didn't take advantage of it. So why should you walk out of here and go, you know what? I didn't get enough. Get it all. My coach said, go back on the court and do it right. So I went back on the court, and guess what those kids did? They punched me. They kicked me, scratched me, bit me. My hands in the air. So guess what I did? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, jump. Come on, we got it. I know you guys are white. You can jump. Come on now. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Now, you can go and sit down. Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys can sit down. This time, you can sit down. This time, when I jumped in the air, it was the very first time. This was the very first time I played basketball. I couldn't believe it. You know what? For the very first time in my life, I truly believed. I understood. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I could feel it. I was doing it. Black people can fly. I was like, wow. And while I was in the air, everybody on the court, they stopped playing. And they said, wow, look at that guy. They clapped for me. They clapped for me. You guys are slow. I dunked the ball. Now, while I was in the air, guess what? I didn't have time to think about the things that I can't do. Is that crazy or what? I didn't have time to think about negativity. That's crazy. I didn't have time to think about the doctors. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you very much. I'm working hard up in here. They need to pay me more money. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't have time to think about the doctors telling me that I would never run, I would never jump. I didn't have time to think about my parents who brought me into the world and then said, son, you will never make it. I didn't have time to think about the color of my skin. I didn't have time to think about our living in poverty. I didn't have time to think about my religion, my race. I didn't have time to think about anything other than I can do this. Not only can I do this, and the reason why I like my team over there who's got some issues They got some issues, but I still love them anyway. The reason why I like them so much is because when I was sitting in the back, one of the young ladies over there, stand up, young lady, stand up, so I don't know your name, stand up, stand up. This young lady right there, she was really like going, woo! I sort of got on their case, and they changed their name from Just Do It to Just Did It. Oh, that's powerful. And I know this videotape, this DVD is going to a lot of people at home and around the globe. But I want to tell you something right now. The most powerful feeling that you can have, whether you're sitting here or you're at home, is understanding that, you know what? You just did it. You got it done. And I want all of you after these 4 days to go out into the world in whatever area, whatever you want to do, and I just want you to do it. Get it done. I did it. I dunked that ball. I was all happy. I was all excited. Had a big Michael Jackson afro then. It was blowing in the wind. I was looking pretty good. The cheerleaders were clapping. I was like, yo, baby, how you doing? We'll be talking later. And then all of a sudden, I realized something. After I'd accomplished it, I was like, uh-oh, I've got to come back down to earth now. What's going to happen? Will I be able to do it again? But then I realized something else. I'm going to land on the ground, and there's my opposition. I got big feet. Yeah, I squashed them all. It's a good feeling when you squash the opposition. You're in charge. After I did that, for the rest of the 40 minutes, I ran up and down. I was dunking the ball, and I was looking for little kids. Oh, yeah. I squashed them all. And at the end of the game, because I never practiced before, because I never played basketball, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know whether I'd done a good job or a bad job. So I went over to my coach, and I said, Coach, listen, look, I'm really sore. I got cramps, man. Little kid got bite marks on me, man. I've been scratched. I don't know. Did I do the right thing? And my coach, remember what I told you about him, right? My coach was little. He was this tall. He was white. But now he was even whiter. He looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I said, Coach, how did I do? And he couldn't speak. I said, Coach, I'm so sorry. He said, he couldn't speak. I said, Coach, I didn't mean to kill those kids. I didn't. He said, no. He said, you just scored 73 points by yourself. Hey! But remember, I never had a vision. I had never done anything like that before. I didn't know what to do. So the first thing I said was, I'm sorry. He said, no. He said, that was amazing. And of course, oh yeah, thank you very much, Coach. I know that was good. Thank you very much. Now, the next part of this is about what do you do when you actually can see some success. Do you sit back and let people tap you on the shoulder and go, yeah, I'm good? You might dabble into the share market. You might do some property deals, and you might make some wise investments, and all of a sudden you get a nice return, and you might like, oh, I'm awesome. I don't need no more help. Jamie yesterday talked about controlling, having a little ego. When you got a vision, there's no ego. There's you, there's the goal, there's the program, and it's you inviting other people to assist you along the way. My coach told me what I had to do now was I had to commit. I had to join the team. My coach told me that I would now have to train 5 hours a day. My coach told me that I would now have to have study halls so I could raise my grades so that I could get to college. My coach told me now it was all about what I was prepared to put into what I wanted to do so I could be where I wanted to go. My question to you is this. Yesterday and today and tomorrow and the next day, the question will be asked, What are you going to do with the amount of knowledge and the tools that you've been given today? I chose to commit. And that's why I was able to avoid professional distractors. That's why I started wishing for things that I knew I was ready for. That's why I allowed other people to help me along the journey. That's why I was able to adapt and overcome adversities and struggles. That's why I'm standing here right now. Not because I had a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of skill. No, I didn't. I was the hardest working person on the planet. When people were sleeping, I was training, I was working out. Look at me. I'm just like you. I am an Australian citizen. I have been here for 27 years. The color of my skin is not who I am. My height is not who I am. My shoe size, even though it's pretty big, is not who I am. Me playing professional basketball is not who I am. Who I am is a person who have rode the roller coaster of life to achieve something great for me. My greatness is being here right now in front of you. My greatness is having the knowledge that I can help someone else change the way they think. My greatness is knowing that every day I get up and I look in the mirror and yes, my parents decided they didn't want me. But you know what they did do? They at least gave me life. They gave me an opportunity to at least have a journey, maybe not with them, but with someone else. And I was fortunate. I was blessed that a couple days later, two total strangers walked into the hospital, saw me, big baby, hands, legs going everywhere, deformed knees. And they looked at me and they said, you know what? Out of all the babies here, there's only one that's really sticking out to us. I mean, that child there's got potential. That child there, I think we can mold him. We can turn him into something really special. And that's what I see right here. I see people in this room right now, because you told me before that some people are struggling. And now, I know I'm old, and I know I got a bad memory. Just refresh me. Anybody here struggling in any areas of their life? Hands up. Come on, put them up high. Okay, yes, so I got that part right. Anybody in this room right now coming here today because you want to walk away with some tools to change your life? Hands up, okay, at least we're still on the same page right now. Anybody in this room sitting here saying to themselves, you know what? My vision needs to be adjusted in certain areas so I can get a better result. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Okay, that's cool. Anybody in this room sitting here who came in this place yesterday, who today feels bigger, stronger, better, ready to rock and roll? You better put your hands up, girl. Okay, so, all right. So, I got this right. My parents, they saw me, and I was in the same condition as you. I needed that. And they took a chance on me. And they said, okay, we'll do it. And they took me to South Central Los Angeles, and they raised me in one of the worst neighborhoods in all of America. And every night, my mother walked into my room, and she said, son, I love you very much. We don't have a lot. But what we do have, we'll give it all to you. Because one day, you're going to be amazing. In 2006, I'm in Brisbane watching my plasma screen TV. It was the first one I ever had. Back in South Central Los Angeles, we had a TV that was like that big, and it was black and white, and in Tasmania, they didn't even have any TVs, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had to get that in there. You know it's true, that's why you're here right now. Absolutely. So I got a plasma screen TV. I'm sprawled against a plasma screen TV. 2004, my phone rings. It's my mother on the phone. And my mother is like, hello. My mother's 86 years of age. 86. And my mother is soft-spoken, but she calls me all the time, just checking on me, just making sure my vision is still in line with what it was when they were raising me. Amazing woman. And I'm watching Kobe Bryant flying in the air. Ooh, yeah. I'm watching LeBron James. I'm going, ooh, yeah. And my mother says, son, are you listening to me, baby? I need to talk to you. And I was like, Mom, can't you see, can't you hear that I'm watching TV? And my mother said, well son, I need to talk to you. And I was like, can I call you back, Mom? It's the fourth quarter. And with 5 seconds to go in the game, it's going to be real good. I can't miss another minute because 5 seconds lasts 10 minutes in the NBA. So I hung the phone up. I watched the game. And after the game, I was walking around. I was excited about the outcome of the game and forgot that my mother had called. Went to bed that night, and it's about 2 a.m. in the morning. I said, oh, better call my mother. Time difference in America, I'll call her about 9 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock that morning, the phone rang. Picked up the phone, and it was my aunt. And my aunt said, Eric, I just want to tell you, your mother died an hour ago. I said, what? Yeah, she wasn't feeling well last night. She had been talking about she couldn't handle life anymore, and she was tired, and you came home for Christmas, and she had been telling people that she was okay to go because she had last saw you and you were doing fine, and she knew that her job was done. And my aunt said, so when can you come home? And I hung the phone up, and the first thing I thought about was the last words I said to my mother was, I'll call you back. We talk about vision. We talk about the ability to see more. Some of the things that I said to you earlier about vision was seeing, feeling, acting, and planning. My vision let me down. My vision wasn't working. Because if my vision was working, I would have known that when your mother calls you and you're millions of miles away, you take the time and you talk. Got on the plane, flew to America, buried my mother. Huge amount of grief, guilt. Looked at my father, and my father was 87 years of age, and I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna let my vision get clouded anymore, so I packed up my father, and I brought him to Australia. He lived with us in Brisbane, and before we left, the doctor said, listen, if you take your father to Australia with the medication that he's on here in America, and because of the loss of his wife, and because of his surroundings, he won't last 6 months. I sat down with my father and I explained this to him. I said, what do you want to do? And he said, son, what do you think I should do? Whoa. How many people know now that your vision's got to be correct now? This is a major decision. This is a major decision. So I decided, you know what? I'm believing in my ability to take care of my dad. So I brought my father to Brisbane, and 6 months came, and took him into the doctor, and the doctor said, you know what, hey, your father's doing well. I said, wow, 6 months. Yeah, 12 months. He was still kicking, stronger. I was like, yo, man, when you gonna get out of here, man? What's up? Next thing you know, I realized, there's a problem. I took him into a doctor, and they said, listen, you know what, we've got to amputate his leg. He had diabetes, the heart was bad, and went through all of that, and he still was moving around, and then found out he had to have the other leg amputated, and I'm sitting in the surgery, and the doctor said, you know what, you need to tell him We had him in assisted living at this particular time and went in and was going to tell him. And I looked at him and said, Dad, I'm sorry, but you're going to lose your other leg. I'm 6'6". I was looking at him. I was crying. I was like, oh, no. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. He says, get out of my room. He says, come back at 5 o'clock. I said, Dad, we got to make some preparations. We got to decide what we're going to do. He says, it's 4:30. I said, why can't we talk about it now? He says, it's 4:30. I'm watching Bold and the Beautiful. Come back at 5. I said, yeah, okay. Come back at 5 o'clock. We're talking. He's got arthritis in his arms, and he pulls me closer, and he says, let me tell you something right now. He says, as long as I have breath, I have life. He said, I have seen the Great Depression. I have seen slavery. I have seen social injustices. I have seen unemployment. I've seen racial discrimination. I've seen it all. He said, but the most important thing that I have seen in my life is you, son. The most important thing I have seen was you taking what little you had and turn it into what you have right now. He said, son, what I have seen was you turning abandonment into abundance. Today, whatever ill feelings, whatever abandonment issues that you're having, whatever your challenges, there are opportunities. And today, you have an opportunity to do something about it. Stand on the line. My father died by the time I got home that night. That night, the only thing I thought about was, the last things he told me was, as long as you have breath, you have life. He said, turn abandonment into abundance. I want to encourage each and every one of you to stand on the line and fight and reach for your opportunities. Seek out new opportunities. Embrace knowledge and change. And once you can do those things, trust me when I say this, you will see a dramatic increase in your life. And once you start to see those changes, once you start to embrace all of those things, you will put yourself in a position then to pass it on, to help your communities, to help your families. We all were put here, designed, created to be more than just average. But extraordinary things don't just land on your doorstep. You got to go out and you got to take it. From the bottom of my heart, and in all that I am about as a speaker, as a coach, and as a mentor, as a human being, my vision in my life now is to affect and add value to the lives of everyone that I'm blessed to speak in front. You know why? Because two people who weren't blood related, who never knew me, walked into a room and said, I believe in you. If they can believe in me and stand by me, then I want to do what they have done for me, for each and every one of you. Thank you very much.